Hello folks, I'm back again and I'm here today to talk to you about Odessa barbs. Now I was lucky enough to come across these in the East Tennessee Aquatic Association's meeting where we swap fish around, and we're going to talk to the person that I got these from in just a minute, and he's going to tell us how he acquired them from another club member and then was able to breed them. Now, if my studies are correct, I will probably not have a lot of luck breeding this particular species of barbs because they're all boys. It is just not going to happen. They are extremely friendly. If you look real close, you can see they're giving me kisses right now. If you see this species of barbs in the store and they look kind of plain, don't despair. This is a fish that really takes some time to color up. They have a really interesting personality too, very greedy, kind of like a platy or something like that. They just want to eat. And but they don't seem overly aggressive, other than they're gonna try to make it difficult for anything else to get food. They will make it difficult for slow feeders and stuff to get food. They're very voracious. They're like little raptors, and they really go for it. They have a really distinct coloration after a few months, with like a really striking red color. They also have these kind of pearlescent, metallic pearlescent scales. Also, they're a little bit difficult to describe. I'll try to shoot as good a video as I can so you can really get a good sense of how pretty mine are. These had none of these colors when I first got them. I kept them in my fluval flora, and I kind of raised them up, gave them lots of good food and stuff, and then eventually I moved them here. Now, apparently these guys get quite a bit bigger, and they do need a little bit larger tank. They are very boisterous. They move around a lot. They're always all over the tank. They're a shoaling fish, so you're going to need a few of them too. I have 8 right now. I'd love to get a few more. In fact, I probably would get a handful of females if I can get some very specific ones. And maybe try to breed them myself and make some more, because I just think that they're just a super gorgeous fish, and how nice. It's nice to see something with like these kind of nice bold red colors that doesn't actually attack the other fish in my tank so much. That's not to say that their presence hasn't been noticed by some of the other fish in the tank that used to kind of dominate the food chain. When I put these guys in here, they took over that role pretty completely. And for that reason, their stay in here will be temporary. I think the next video I'm going to make is actually about the swap. I'm going to swap my fish in a whole bunch of my fish tanks. It's sort of my thought process for re-leveling all the stocking options in your fish collection. These guys have done really well in here so far. What I'd like to do is eventually move them over to the 210. I've noticed that the rosy barbs that I've put in the 210 have a 100% survival rate. That is, they're not being eaten by the bichir or picked on by any of the other big fish in there. So I think at least in the short term they're going to do just fine. What I'll probably do to start that is just maybe move 1 or 2 over there, kind of see how the success goes, and then go from there. You're always rolling the dice with something like that, but my rosy barbs have done really well for nearly a year. They have a very similar temperament, and my guess is probably are going to end up being smaller in the end than these guys. So I think they'll do it. I think they'll do okay. All right, let's cut over to Conservation Fisheries and talk to Derek about these barbs, about how he got them and how he bred them. Well, hello, Derek. Thank you for talking to me today. I wanted to ask you about Odessa barbs. So Derek is a member of the club, the East Tennessee Aquatic Association, and we swap stuff around. You've actually taken some of my endlers home, my tiger endlers, the yellow tiger.
Oh yeah,
those were for me.
I just distributed some to someone else the other day.
Yeah, they go like that. So, and you brought some Odessa barbs, and I think they are probably one of my favorite fish that I've gotten from just someone I know. I think that they are a remarkable, very colorful, vibrant fish, and really easy to keep for me so far. How did you breed them?
So I guess a little background on how I got them. I got them from Curtis, another person in our club.
Oh.
And he gave a little talk about bucket spawning some of these minnows, and well, barbs are technically a species of minnow that just broadcast their eggs over vegetation in the wild. And then I got looking on YouTube. There's a guy, Greg Sage, that he has an online store and sells some kind of rare fish, but he's been doing Odessa barbs for years and years, and has some very extensive videos on how to spawn them. And basically you take some Java moss and you kind of make a false bottom out of like some egg crate and like knitting canvas, and you stick that in the tank so that the fish can swim on top of it and they can spawn, and then the eggs will fall down and be safe so that the adults can't eat them. And so I got, I think, 3 males and 2 females from Curtis, because I went to his house and saw it. I liked Odessa barbs, but I had never seen them like full bore. Like he had some in a 90 gallon, and they were like that big, and the red like it looks like a camera that like they turn the saturation up too much. Like it doesn't look real when they're really like lit up. So I kind of fell in love with them, and I threw just a trio of them in a 10 gallon with. I didn't even cover the whole bottom. I just took a panel of the egg crate with some Java moss on it and sort of isolated it so that if they spawned on it, the eggs would be safe. And left them in there. I think it was 76 or 78 degrees to trigger spawning. You just leave them in there like that for a couple of days and then take the fish out. And a week later, I had 300 or 400 little fry swimming around.
Wow!
It was way more productive than I ever imagined.
Well, thank you so much, Derek, for sharing what you've learned about this. Hopefully we can come back and ask you about some other bizarre fish that we come across.
Anytime.
Thanks. Like so many fish, these guys have an interesting backstory. Odessa is a city in Ukraine. So these guys were collected, then brought up there and bred, and then passed around, and then somehow they forgot where they were from. So if what I've heard on the internet is to be believed, they had these things for a long time with no idea where they originally came from. They were just shared and shared and shared. Now, if they're so easy to breed, if they're apparently pretty easy to make more of these, and and when you do make more, there's a lot. I can see where things can get passed along and passed along and passed along, and nobody be really certain exactly what they're holding on to. I don't know, just another interesting fish story. The name stuck, or the common name stuck, and that's why they're called Odessa barbs. I'll be back real soon with more videos. I got an all aquarium update and a couple other little things kicking around in my head that I'd like to get out before the end of the year. So tune in, and I'll see you then. Until next time, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.